Let's stand and have our pledge and prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for a new day and for a chance to come together to make decisions for this county. Thank you for the responsibility that you have entrusted us with. We pray that you would show us how to use that wisely and make the appropriate decision in each and every case. Thank you for those that have come to listen in, to share information. We just pray that you would bless this meeting, that you would, again, guide us through this. We pray for our servicemen, servicewomen, our first responders, wherever they are. Keep them safe today. And again, we just praise you for the day. In Christ's name, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, welcome everyone to Commissioner's Court. Today's our second meeting of the month, or at least our second regular meeting, and it is the 24th of July, 2017, just a few moments after 9 a.m. And we will begin with item number 1, public comments and or requests for information on non-agenda items in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act. I've got 2 completed forms to speak. Marta has filled out one, but I have you on the agenda item number 3, so we'll wait until that time. And then I also have Mr. Roberto Garcia. And Mr. Garcia, if you'd like to come up to the podium at this time and share with us whatever you would like.
Okay, I visit here. Good morning.
Good morning. Lift that mic up a little bit just so we can be sure we hear you the very best. Lift that microphone up. There you go.
Okay, thank you. My visit here is simple. I came here to this meeting to ask to the commissioner that fix the County Road 3925. Maybe the last time that some section of this road that was fixed was maybe 3 years ago. Maybe 1 month or 2 months they fix a section. But they did the less that is possible to do. And some area of this section that fixed is in the same bad condition that maybe 3 or 4 months ago. So it's simple. Please fix the county roads.
Okay. And you're in precinct 3, is that correct?
Excuse me?
Are you in precinct number 3? Do you know? Do you know
3 years.
No, do you know who your commissioner is?
I don't know the commissioner.
Okay.
I know the 2 commissioners ago. We have a good contact, but the last 2 commissioners, I am not know them.
Okay. I think it's Commissioner Applewhite who normally would sit here. He is out of town today, but we do have our road engineer here. We appreciate you coming. Maybe our road engineer here, when he makes his report, can make a comment on your road.
Well, I am the ranch manager of the Straddle Ranch. I be in the ranch all the day, all the week, all the year.
All right.
I appreciated that. Have some contact with us.
Okay.
We fix some area with our resource, but our equipment are not suitable for this type of work.
Have you ever had a talk with your county commissioner in the last few years?
Not the actual. I tried to call by phone, but it's difficult.
Okay.
I can't.
Well, on the top here of your agenda, if you'll get an agenda, you've got a cell phone number for Precinct 3 Commissioner, Mr. Applewhite. There's also, you can contact our road engineer, Mr. Ledbetter, who is going to speak here in just a moment.
Okay.
And I don't know that either one of them will have the news that you're wanting, but at least they can tell you what their position is on that road. So you're welcome to sit here with us for a few more minutes and hear Mr. hear Mr. Ledbetter's report.
Could I, is this the road on the ranch, or Who are you with? What, are you with the?
Rosico Ranch.
Is it Bosico?
This is Trail Ranch, not Prosico.
Yeah, across the street.
It's
Yeah,
Tony
okay.
Road.
Yeah, you remember that they wanted to close that road, make it a private road.
Who did? I don't remember.
Philip Hinton
No.
at a meeting, and finally, I'm sorry,
You said that was closed?
no.
No,
Uh,
let him finish.
And then some of the people that had land that wanted to go down that road and come back, in other words, Philip wanted to close it. If you leave Sugar Hill and you go down the road that way, you're on the ranch road, but if he closed it, there's private property just prior to the ranch, on the north side of the road. So the people that had that property could not come back out and go around and come out on 71, which would go toward DeKalb that way. So they complained, and so Philip withdrew making that a private road.
Yeah,
So
I do remember that.
it hasn't, yes, that hasn't been maintained because for years the ranch, Bosico or Estrella owned it, it was a Bosico all at one time. I don't know how long Estrella's owned part of it, but that's the road he's talking about, I think, if he's with Estrella.
Did you understand that, Mr. Garcia?
Not all.
Some time ago, the previous commissioner wanted to close that road as a county road. He said, we don't need to maintain that, but apparently some of the people that lived on that road said, please don't close that road. And so he did not close that. It is still a county road. But now, as far as maintenance of that county road, I don't know much about that road, but perhaps Mr. Ledbetter will comment on that when he makes his report here in just a moment.
I know that we have problem. I worked in this ranch 8 years ago. I began to work 8 years ago. And at the beginning, every year, the county fixed the road. And after, no, was the same. And the owner of the ranch talked with the commission in order that if the county road doesn't want to fix this, pass this road to the property of the ranch, the part that is inside the ranch. But they send paper to Austin, different places, and the response was no. This is important road for the community. It's not possible. It's necessary to be open to the population of this population for the Austin. It's not a problem. The problem is that please fix.
Okay, thank you.
On this road, now I've been down it, but it's been 25 years. Does it have a cattle guard across it? Or it does not? I know there's some of those roads up there do have cattle guards, but that doesn't have a cattle guard on it, does it?
No.
To keep cattle? Okay.
No. We try to cross a few cattle for this road. Is it bad for us? We only, some occasion, the pasture is here, we need to move to the core route, and we cross from one pasture to another. Okay. And a few occasions, we move through the road, because we know what is the consequence. Prosico moved more for 71 than we for the County Road 3925.
Roger, have you been on this road?
Yeah, it's in pretty bad shape. We played about the first mile of it, we had complaints from Prosico.
Yes.
There's probably another 5 miles of it. I mean, basically it's a gravel road, there's one pothole in it. We need to haul some material in there, just to make it a gravel road, bad gravel road.
Estrella wanted to make it a private road at one time. I don't know if it was you or were involved or not, but they wanted to make it a private road. They own both sides of the road. Estrella does. You own both sides of the road. the ranch.
Both sides of the road.
Yes.
This is from the
And they wanted to make it a private road, but I don't know who it was with your ranch that wanted to make it a private road and put a fence up or gate or whatever.
I'm not able to understand the question.
No, someone wanted to make it a private road, not a public road. They requested, that's why Philip the commissioner brought it before the court. But some more people that lived on the west side of your property, of course, you've got property too, but they also have property on the west side of your property going west on that road. They didn't want it closed.
Most of the 3925 is middle of the spread ranch. In some area, those people have not too big, some part, some side of the ranch, of the road, and the other properties of different people that live in this 3925. Mainly in between fire station to, I don't remember the little road that goes to another neighbor, close to the Soccer River.
Right. And then, yeah, those were the people that didn't want it closed, did not want it closed.
No, not close. Not close.
I'm sorry.
Excuse me.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know how to. I can't explain it.
Well, it basically ended up, we didn't close the road. It's still a public road.
It's public road.
It's a closed road?
It's a county road.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's a public road. It's a county road.
It's county road.
Roger, if you can, look at that and kind of bring us up to date, or I'll ride up there with you one day to look at it. But we need to get his telephone number.
How many people outside of Estrella Ranch are served by that road, would you guess?
None. That's none. There's no one other than those few people that live up on the west side toward Sugar Hill that complained. They wanted to be able, when they left their place to go to DeKalb, they could go on around that road he's talking about and come out on Farm Road 71. And they didn't want it closed because of that. I can tell you the families, I know the families that live there, and that's why they didn't want it closed. Only that reason. They could come back around this way, hit 71, and go on to DeKalb if they wanted to. But that was just a few people on it. But Estrella's bought land further on down west of some of these properties. In other words, it's commingled with private owners, some of the stuff they bought west of where they were talking about closing that road and making Philip was a private road. So I don't know how to explain it anymore.
Well, and this road is used for many neighborhoods, but for many companies that attend telephone, attend electricity, pipeline, and we have an important economic activity for this municipality, for the county.
Show them all this way.
We give employment for many people here, and we spend near $1
People in here
million
private land.
dollars every
They
year
bought little spots.
that we invert in the county, and this municipality, and the others close to the Estrella Ranch.
Billy Jack.
And
Billy Jack owned that.
I look at when they fix in other times, 2 or 3 days, 4, 5, 6 truck of rock, no more.
Okay.
No more. It's
Well,
not-
Mr. Garcia, since your commissioner is not here today, it's difficult for me to know much more about this. I would suggest that you let him get back in town next week and give him a call at the number here, Mr. Applewhite, and talk to him about this.
I'm going to call, and I trade that he give me a meeting to explain directly.
Sure,
Because for code, I have problem
sure.
to understand.
He can probably meet you there and discuss, because this court will take a recommendation from him, working with our county engineer as to when that can be repaired or if it can be repaired.
Okay,
Okay?
thank you.
Thank you. All right, let's move into our second agenda item, consider and possibly approve our minutes from the July 7th meeting. That was our first regular meeting of the month.
Make a motion, we approve the minutes, July 7th.
All right, thank you, Commissioner. Parker makes a motion and Commissioner Fields seconds. All in favor of approval, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item number 3, presentation by Marta Zettel regarding a subdivision that she is considering on her property, which you know as Tankersley Gardens, with possible action to follow. Marta and her husband came to see me the other day to explain their desire to split this property there, again, that you know as Tankersley Garden, that includes a residence and includes some commercial property that was previously used for events, and she is attempting to get this sold. Marta, if you'd like to come up to the mic and share with these commissioners, and I know that you met with Commissioner Fields, who had a chance to visit with you about this. And what she would like to do is to get some kind of direction before she attempts to sell this property and make any changes here. She wants to know what kind of possible expense she's looking at, if any, in the way of road improvements in order to get this property divided into 2 parts. So Marta, I'll turn it over to you.
Okay, during the last year, I have attempted to sell the property as a whole. It has not happened. So my interest is to go ahead and divide it into 2 pieces of property. Currently, it has 3 tracts, but I want to just go ahead and resurvey it and divide it into 2 properties. If you look at the picture, you will see the blue lines. You will see on the left, that is the property where the house is currently. And on the right, there is some of the buildings that were used for the wedding venue. So I want to divide that into 2, and there is a road that has been there possibly over 20 years. It's a good road. Mr. Commissioner Mike Fields was there last week. He was able to observe it. So when I divide the property and sell it to 2 different people, I would like to be able to keep that property as a private property that both properties would be able to use. A common road for both properties. That is pretty much it.
I can't read that. How many acres is there on the house?
It's about 2.4.
2.4, okay, that's why I couldn't see the 2. So 2.41 acres and then 5.5 acres there on the east side. And if you'll recall the changes that we made in our subdivision regulations, one of the items that's included there has to do with the road. And so Marta's question was, am I going to have to bring this road up to current county specs in order for you to approve a subdivision request here so that I can market this property in 2 pieces and hopefully get it sold? And so I asked Commissioner Fields to take a look at this and see what he thought she should have to do in order to accomplish this subdivision. So Commissioner Fields, what can you tell us about your visit
Okay,
out
of
there?
course, I think we all know where the spot's at there, but as you go in, there is a road. It is a good road. It's not a wide road. It does not, it's not wide like I think 14 feet is what we normally have. This is a drive, and that's what I would consider, because it's going to be a common drive where both sides use that drive just to go to their home and back. If you look on the left there, the 2.4 acres, that is where the home side is. Across, you have other buildings, but they're possibly, just looking at it and stuff, there's one area, if somebody wanted to build a house, I think could build a house there. The rest of it is heavy wooded, and there's a creek that comes down through there, so it would not be usable for what I'd call commercial property. She just wants to take that part to the east there and sell that part and keep the 2.4 acres. And also that would be a common drive going in there. It'd be a drive. To me, it wouldn't be a road because you'd have a mailbox there at one spot, and then just before you get there, there'll probably be another mailbox, and they would use that common drive to go in and out. To me, if I don't see, I've looked at the land and walked around, it's very beautiful down in there, a lot of trees and stuff like this, but it is low. That's back towards the interstate there and stuff. So to me, if they wanted to, at some point in time in the future, they wanted to subdivide any of that, they'd still have to come back to the court. My understanding, you're going to put it on there where there is, that's just a common drive. Y'all both use it coming in and out to one house. You're going to put, I think you was talking about putting a restriction or something. If it goes more than one house over there, then they have to come back to the court. I don't really see that, but because of that creek and everything, it goes down through the middle of it. But it is beautiful over there. My recommendation to the court would grant that as a common road and leave it just like it is where they both use it, and that will be in the deed, correct? Where they can use that road coming in and out.
Yeah, the way it would be divided would be actually divided right in the middle of the road, so half of the road will belong to one of the properties and the other half will belong to the other property. So, you know, in the event that there was any repair needed for the home, you know, both properties would be responsible.
Are there any other further deed restrictions you're going to put on either of those two pieces?
Yes, for the right side, I will put a restriction that it's going to be just for residential use, not commercial use for that property.
So if somebody wanted to buy that and continue the business of weddings or events,
They would not be able to.
they're not going to be able to.
No, not unless they buy them. I don't know.
Is any of this in the floodplain?
Yes, there is some of the property in the floodplain. Most of it is to the right. That's why we see that there's not going to be like a subdivision with lots of homes in there. That's not going to happen because of the fact that it's.
You don't think it'll happen, or it's not going to
It's not
happen?
going to happen now with, you know, the lower part of the property.
Will that be a restriction on the deed, the number of houses?
I could put that on the deed to just.
Well, I'm just wondering what your plans are. Because again, like we told you the other day, what your intentions are and what somebody's intentions might be 20 years from now could be two different things. But the lay of the land makes it unrealistic that it would be suitable for a subdivision of multiple homes.
It definitely would, Judge. You'd have to come in there and build that up a lot. It'd cost a lot of money to do it if you were going to try to put subdivision, but who knows in 20 years what somebody might do. But what her plans are, is she's going to put it in the deed, but that road is going to be divided, and it's a nice asphalt road going in and out. And it'll be a common road that they both use.
I mean, I could put on the deed possibly that no more than 2 homes. I mean, there is a possibility somebody could purchase it, build like a large home, and then use one of the buildings as a mother-in-law, something like that home, you know, like a family member or something like that, just one of the small buildings. I'm just saying that's a possibility, so, I mean.
Well, what I would ask you to do, and I don't know what the best way to do it is to make the future limitations clear to anybody that you sell this to. Because if somebody comes back a month from now and says, I bought it from Marta and now I'm ready to move my 3 kids in here and build them all a home and subdivide it again,
No.
we might be looking at a tough decision of telling him, well, you've got to rebuild that road now to county specs. And he needs to be aware of that.
Yes, I will write that on the deed. because, there's another home on the other side, so currently I'm going to be living there, so I don't want somebody to
Yeah.
come in and just put a trailer next door. I don't want somebody to come in and just build a whole bunch of homes.
All right. Well, you understand that if the court waives any requirement for you to upgrade that road, you'll still have to go through the application process for a subdivision and get that subdivision approved. But you've got, obviously, utilities, you've got electricity, water. You're going to have to work with Mr. Bain regarding your making sure that it's suitable for septic system over there. And you said,
Yeah, I already talked to him,
Okay.
and I already talked to someone that did the study to see what it was able to do.
so all we're talking about here today is whether or not you have to upgrade that road, but that does not negate any requirements for you to go through the subdivision process.
That's
Okay. All right. Commissioner Fields, is it your recommendation that we allow MARTA not to have to abide by the rebuild of the road requirements that are spelled out in our subdivision regulations?
That is correct.
Okay. That's your motion?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Motion by Commissioner Fields is that we give you the guidance to move forward in your subdivision application, knowing that we're not going to make you rebuild that road to county specs. That's the motion. And it'll need a second if y'all are in agreement, or if you're not, then
I'll second that.
Second by Commissioner Parker. All in favor of this motion, say aye.
Aye.
Commissioner Riddle, what do you think?
I think it should be county road specs. And I don't think that, I think making these exceptions, we did it to one just recently. I don't know how you're ever going to control. You got two addresses, two 911 numbers. Adcog will make us put another address in there, and so then you've got two, then you got a road, and then somebody wants to add, get their mother-in-law house, as you said, and I've had it happen just recently over in my precinct, and that's what happened, because the road is not to specs. But anyway,
Well, if you had the assurance that anybody that bought that east acreage was not going to build more than one home, would that change your opinion?
sure. That's
If she agrees to put a restriction in there that only one residence can be built in that property, would that be suitable to you?
That would be one family, single-family residence, not an apartment house.
What do you think about that?
Well, let me ask you, just the possibility of somebody just building just like a little mother-in-law, would that still be additional? There's 3 buildings currently in there, so I see the possibility of somebody wanting to just build one home and just have like a small mother-in-law or like a little efficiency. So I could put a restriction on that, just that.
What if you put a restriction in there that said, this property cannot be subdivided without permission of the Commissioner's Court, which will require adherence to whatever subdivision regulations are currently in place,
Okay. Yeah, that's-
so that they know that they're going to have some real money to spend on a road if they're going to do anything that involves busting up this property into smaller pieces and building multiple residences. And if it's like Commissioner Fields and you say, it's not likely. But again, as this county grows and you've got prime interstate frontage road here, there's no telling what somebody might dream up for that property.
I could put that restriction, it would be.
Okay.
It would only be, that it would not be subdivided.
Okay. Well, then we'll have a chance to take a look at that when you present your subdivision application. So we've now got 2 yes votes. Are you okay with that?
I am, yeah, I'm okay with that.
And again, just to clarify it, she'll put in the deed that this property cannot be subdivided without the person making the subdivision being required to bring the property up to full subdivision specs.
Right. I'm not sure. We have an example of this right now, just right where Dr. Rocker's clinic was. They've rebuilt and raised all that land up.
Yeah, Ricky Baker.
Right, and it's probably not going to, floodplain is not going to be a factor on that land, so he's going to subdivide it for businesses, I suppose. I'm assuming, I don't know that. But
I guess what we're saying, the way I understood is, if it was to be subdivided any further, then they will have to come over here to be discussed. Not at this time, not the way I'm selling it.
And that road's going to have to be rebuilt to specs.
But that would be for them if they want to go ahead and do a further subdivision. But just what I'm doing now, I will put a restriction on the deed that says, basically there is not going to be any additional subdivisions in it. So all they would be able to do is just build one home.
Let me ask you a question. If it was one family and they had 2 kids and they want to build 3 houses with all together, it's all family, they didn't
yeah,
divide the property. You still got 3 houses over there. That's considered a subdivision, though it has to be big. Or if a single owner built the house and rented it out.
That becomes commercial then.
There's no change in property.
There's not going to be any commercial on this.
Well, to answer your question, I don't think that requires them to come back to the court to find, to seek approval of a subdivision. So, yeah, you are running into that as a possibility.
Unless she puts in the deed that only one house, only one family to live on this property in one house.
Well, I understand what she's talking about, and I know this has happened. A person has a nice home for his family. His mother, they built a little 1-bedroom.
If you want your children, either way, you end up with 2 or 3 different families living on the property.
I guess I could put a restriction on the deed saying only one home to be built, and if they were going to build any more than just one, it would be for them at that time to come back to the court and submit that to you.
Okay.
I'm just going to get that.
Sure, and we need to.
Yeah.
We need to.
Yeah, okay.
Build one home.
That's a good point. They're limited to one residence without being subject to subdivision regulations. And let us take a look at are y'all okay with that, or do you want to think on that before we vote on this? And we don't have to do anything today if you want to think about this.
That's fine with me.
What do you think?
I think it should stay just like that, deed restriction for one residence only. Anything else would have to come back to the commissioner's court for another plan.
Okay, so y'all are both okay with that?
I'm fine with that.
All right. Okay, well, if you'll let us take a look at that deed restriction when you work it up. But this motion includes the assurance that you'll make a deed restriction in there limiting the property to one residence. All right. So in light of that, I've got a motion, a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? There are none. Okay, we wish you the best in getting this done and hope that these restrictions are not going to limit you or anybody else to making that property what you want it to be and what they want it to be. All right?
Thank you.
Thank you. And y'all are welcome to continue and stay with us. You're welcome to go take care of business. All right, item number 4 is a report from our road engineer, Roger Ledbetter. Welcome.
Take care. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Kind of get you up to date on what we've been doing on the bridge on County Road 4754. It has been removed and the temporary cover's been put in its place, and we opened it back up to traffic. I think Jimmy's seen it. We actually armored both ends with some old concrete riprap that we got from the Wells Power Plant, and we topped it off with wrap right now. We'll let it settle a little bit, and we'll come back and put some coal in on top of
How much weight will that bear? What kind of traffic can use that bridge?
it. Not any traffic y'all will use this cover.
Okay.
It shouldn't be a problem at all.
Unless you get 11-inch rain.
Unless we get 11-inch rain, and the cover may not be there.
It may be down the creek somewhere.
I'm hoping we put enough concrete riprap on the upstream end that it won't wash away. A lot of water comes down through there. When you take a big opening and just put a small opening back, more of it's got to go over the road. So we'll just have to see how to do it. Hopefully we won't get too many rains for 2 years and the state will get it replaced and we'll be in good shape.
That's the key right there.
That's the key. And we're currently working base failures on 3375, 3340, 3335, 3337, 3330, and we plan on starting on 3350. This work's been going pretty good for us until the clutch went out on the water truck. And that happened, I think, Thursday on this, so that's kind of slowed us down a little bit. Hopefully we'll get the truck running today or tomorrow again.
That's that 85 truck, that 85?
Yeah, it's the one y'all had.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. That we converted to just a gravity flow water truck.
Yeah.
Yeah, the clutch went out.
Okay.
And the boat man's been doing a good job grinding up the road, but it's got a problem now too. It's got a hydraulic leak. It's in the, basically the steering column. There's a valve that actually, it's a rotational type valve that the steering wheel is attached to, and it started leaking right up there at the base of the steering wheel. So it's leaking hydraulic fluid on the operator's platform. We're probably going to try to keep using it. We're going to wrap some rags around it right now and put us a bucket down there to catch the hydraulic fluid. It's not leaking that bad. It's just where it's leaking at, where the operator's sitting. And it feeds all in the hydraulic fluid. So we're going to.
Is
We've
it
got
one
one
complete
over.
part, or is it one that's got a hose going to it?
It's all hydraulic.
Okay.
Everything's pretty much on the machine's hydraulic. So. Yeah, it's a hydraulic valve basically that the steering wheel works off of.
That answers my question.
And we couldn't get a kit for it. We tried to get a kit. We can't get a kit. And I think we're pretty lucky to we can actually get the part for it. We've got it ordered. So hopefully it'll be in the middle of this week and we can replace it. It just starts adding up an expense. That valve costs $900. Then hopefully, if nothing else breaks down, we ought to be finished with these roadways in about the next 2 weeks. Then we plan on moving on to another precinct.
But you're just repairing the base and not doing anything else to these roads for the time being?
Yeah, all these were bad base failures that we had. Now, one of them, 3350, we're going to rework about a mile of it. All of it's basically a long base failure. It's not something you go over there and just top it over with some cold mix. It's not going to fix it. So all these places right now we're working, you cannot just cover them up with cold mix. You've got to get down in the subgrade, you got to rework it from the bottom up. And that's what we're working on now.
Yeah.
Most of these spots we picked in because we got cars dragging or we got pretty deep holes. That's what we're working on now, and that's what we're going to continue working on for a while. So, you have any questions for me?
If money was no object, just to educate me, what would you do after making these repairs to those roads?
If money was no object, I probably would have done the whole road. But after this, if money was no object,
Well, maybe I should back it off. If you had a reasonable amount of money, what would the next step be after you rework a base? Do you top it, or do you?
we're going to top it with cold mix, and we still plan on doing that. We're going to go ahead and top all these locations with cold mix.
Okay.
That's not seal coated.
That's not seal coated. We don't have the ability to seal coat yet.
And that would be the next step, ideally, is to seal coat it after the coal mix.
But next step, if we come in on any places in between that we need to level up the cold mix. In other words, where the road's out of shape, cracked up pretty bad, we'll level those up with cold mix. Then, you know, if money wasn't an object, we'd take cold mix from one end to the other.
Then seal coated.
We'd probably seal coat probably a year or two from now. In other words, we'd do all our prep work, we'd make sure everything stays, but we don't have to rework anything before we seal coat it. In other words, everything needs to be in good shape before we seal coat it. Seal coat is basically a waterproofing membrane. It won't solve any problems underneath. All it does is keep the moisture out and keep it from causing problems. So they got to be in pretty good shape before we spend the money on the seal coat, or you're wasting the money on the seal coat. And right now, probably 80% of our roads, if we seal coat them, would be wasting money on. So we've got to do a lot of work on them before we can actually seal coat.
The problem in my precinct is some of those roads we're talking, they got to be built up. They're lower than the ditches, in other words. They are the ditch.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they are.
before you put the coal mix on them, you have to get them higher somehow.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how much base we're going to have to add to get them.
Well, that's a real expensive.
Yeah. Expensive, it's very time consuming, it takes a while to get there.
Roger, are you getting any phone calls or anything about mowing? Do y'all have any idea, timeline on that?
About mowing, yeah.
I'm getting quite a few about mowing and cutting the right-of-ways back because
Yeah.
trees hanging over the roads and all.
Yeah, that's almost a daily thing about the side cutting, especially in precinct 3. And we just get complaint after complaint about side cutting on precinct 3.
Is that something that can wait till road building season's over?
That's what I was trying to do, yes. Now, some of them we may have to do some mowing just because of safety concerns. They can't see to pull out an intersection. So there's probably some mowing we're going to have to go back and do.
This is probably the wettest winter, the wettest spring, and wettest summer that I've ever seen. It's just been wet. Just about the time you get going, and grass is really growing. Best grass I've ever seen.
And we've probably spent 20% of our time cutting trees and removing them off the right of way. Just the ones that fail. I guarantee we spent about 20% of the time with them. And that adds up every while. It takes away from the actual road work.
There's still a lot of limbs and whatnot in the ditches now that
Yes.
before you mow, it's going to have to be picked up now.
Last year, or 2 years ago, out there on 127, y'all had that tree crew with the big saws and stuff.
Yes.
Go down that road.
Yeah, looks good.
Boy, it looks good. And that's 2 years ago.
Yes.
Because they got stuff up high. You can see.
20 foot high, 30 foot high.
Well, I'm telling you what, every road in East Texas ought to be done like that.
Yeah, I agree with you.
You're talking about making them roads safer.
Every county road needs to be done
The
like that.
problem we have out there, the problems we have out in that area is hogs and deer, and they're everywhere in the county, but I'm talking about we have a real problem because the lake's out there and everybody's got they want the deer to be pets and stuff, and there's deer everywhere and hogs everywhere.
But you're also talking about a multi-million-dollar contract.
Oh, I understand that, but I like the way that saw cut, and it made it look nice. It didn't, with this brush cutters we have and stuff, you don't keep sharp blades, it doesn't look good.
Right.
It gets ragged.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have a nice pole saw, cut stuff
Well, I'm
like
gonna
that.
tell you what, I was impressed with that thing.
Yeah, they work great. They do.
But people have a tendency to gripe because they don't want their tree cut. The Sumner County, our state right away, in this situation county, and we take the saws and just cut it by hand,
Right.
make sure it looks nice.
But yeah, those hydraulic pole saws are great. They do a great job. But
Well, I was
they're
impressed with
expensive.
it. It lasts.
Go ahead and order you one.
Order one. Okay. We got approval. Keep them one.
All right, what else?
They're nice, I promise. Anything else?
Where are you heading after this next 2 weeks? Any specific plans yet?
No, I don't have specific plans yet. I know there's one county road and Al's precinct, what was it, 16? I can't remember. One of the log trucks tore it.
Oh, that, yeah, that's not a very big
Yeah, I know. It's got-
project, it's just that one spot.
Yeah,
Really?
got 2 or 3 spots in there.
Yeah, the
We,
1695.
2670 out there. That's one that log trucks tore up. They logged it, then somebody else come in there and logged another piece of property out there, and it's bad.
Yeah. There's plenty of them that are bad. I know.
Let me tell you, while we're talking about that, why don't we look at making them put a cash bond? A lot of counties have went to that.
Make the loggers put up a
Make
cash
the
bond.
loggers put up a cash bond.
Are we gonna turn around and charge them for the work that we do to fix the road?
I've tried that. We got the first dime to collect,
Yeah.
the very first one for
You
me.
can do a lot of stuff. You can make them have bonds, but you got to.
Put a cash bond up, you've got the cash.
Yeah. But we got to
$5,000,
have
whatever.
them
That
so
might
you
not
can
pay
get-
for it, but that's better than nothing. I'm just saying that's something that we might need to look into, Judge.
Do you have to file a claim against the bonding company then to get it? Is that the process?
I don't know. I've talked to people about it, but they didn't go into that kind of detail with me, how it works. But we can check on it.
That'd be great. We'll let Commissioner Fields check on that.
I'm not bringing it up again. No, that's okay. I'll try to check on it.
Cash bonds right there, but you have to go through the process to be taking the money.
Yeah, you don't just grab it.
Or not bonds, you can't just grab it. So you need to know what the procedures are. 50% bond. You also have to enforce it, because once it's paid, the company will let you know they went in there.
Well, we shut them down if they come in there without getting a permit.
Well, you have to catch them. You have to be on the road.
Gotta catch them.
Ray and Chris are pretty good about catching them.
Well, I can tell you, those owner-operator, those caliber trucks and stuff, I had a company, and we made some of them bond too. They always went broke. I got $100. They divided up against all the claims against them, and it was a waste of time. I didn't get very much money, I guess. So if you get a good, these loggers, I'd hate to try to collect a bond money from them, if they had a bond. It's gonna be hard for them to buy a bond too, I'll tell you.
Yeah, it probably would be hard for them to buy a bond. I don't know if anybody would bond them.
I wouldn't touch
But if
it.
you make them put cash up, holding cash,
Well,
then have a way to come up with a billing system to determine how much cash you needed to take from their cash bond to put up.
well, that might make them do a little bit better, I don't know, but most of the time, I'm gonna say they're overweight.
Then our county roads couldn't even hold them up, a lot of our county roads wouldn't hold them up, because they're
Right.
still running 80,000 pounds.
If you catch somebody on a county road logging, they don't have a permit, we can shut them down right then. We'll go out there
Yeah.
and we'll shut them down. Plus, if you catch a log truck on a county road, call DPS, Sergeant Roney will send a weight man right out there and we'll weigh them right there on the spot.
I don't guess there's any way we can put a weight limit on all our county roads.
We do have a weight
We have a
limit.
What is it?
45,000.
45,000?
We don't have enough signs.
And that's what, when I had the incident down there on the Cason Loop down there, and that log truck fell through the culvert, that's what the Highway Patrol told me when he come out there. He said, there's not anything I can do. He said, they could have been over limit, because of course they had already started unloading it to try to get the truck out and get things back like it needed to be. And he told me, he said, there's not a weight limit on this road anywhere, a sign on this road anywhere. And he said, I know y'all have got your weight adopted, but he said, if it's not posted, there's not a thing I can do about it.
It's tough.
Spent a lot of money on signs.
It would cost
I moved a sign over on the road, same situation. Put it up, and then the guy looked at them trucks that come through there, a couple of them had less. After that, they just take their chances. It didn't slow them down. It
I
just,
think most times they're gonna run 84,000
That's
pounds, if not more.
Yeah.
and I took a lot of abuse from the owners of the land. They said, this is my perimeter, I grow timber here, and now I can't get it to market. There's gotta be something wrong with this law and stuff.
But even if the DPS can enforce it, what can they do for us? I mean, our road still gets tore up. I mean,
Well,
DPS, the state gets the
we
money
get
from the fine, and what do we get?
If you're overweight, I think the state gets that, but regular tickets and stuff, any tickets you write, the county get a percentage, either 85%, as little as 15%. It depends on the fine and the ticket.
$1,000 ticket. How much it cost to fix the road? $1,000.
It costs probably more than that.
It's not gonna go far over.
And that's what they look at. That's the reason that they'll take their chances of running.
$500 tickets just cost doing business for them.
If they were all like that guy that I dealt with out there, he called me that day. I mean, they could have, that road out there is not, he owns both sides of the road, and he's out of Oklahoma. And he told me, when he called me, he said, we've got a problem with a culvert down here. And I thought, oh goodness, what we got here? He said, one of my trucks fell through. He said, I want to know, do you know where I can buy a culvert and all of this? And we went through there. I said, I'll be there in 5 to 10 minutes. And I just grabbed some stuff that I had there of the railroad yard where we get some of our tanks and stuff. And he showed up. When I showed up down there, he met me at the truck. He said, if you'll give me the information, I'll call and get one here where we can get it put in. And
quite a few of them do that. They're nice, they clean the ditches, they fix everything back. Then you got some out of Oklahoma. If I catch them in Titus County, I'm gonna file on them.
Yeah, I was wondering, what do you do if they say no, they're not gonna do anything?
They're not gonna what?
What if they say no, we're not gonna do anything? What do you do then?
Impound their equipment. I can do that. I have impounded people's equipment because they were coming out on the road with mud. And chunks of mud that big around, and people would come over hill and hit that thing. I don't know how they didn't wreck out some of them, but once I found out what they were doing, I just sent the law out there. We put tags on everything, impounded everything they had, equipment, trucks, everything. you know, you try to be nice with them, and some of them get real smart. One got smart with me one day, and it cost him, he wrote, went to the way, Clevie took him to the weigh station, he got 5 tickets. You know, they know if they get ugly, we can get ugly too. And they don't live here. That's the thing about it. They think they can get away with something, they do.
We've got a few loggers in our area out here that, you know, that do live here, and some of them, there's one of them down on 4765, I think it is, that lives out there that does a lot of logging. Not a whole lot in this area. He goes different places, but he's usually pretty good about, you know, working with you and whatever.
That's what I was going to say. We got some good loggers, good people. They call, they do what they're supposed to. They check the road. Always check the road before they start logging when they get a permit. And you told me to just keep doing that. With the permit, I go out and check it, document it, that what the road's in shape, and then what they tear up, I come back. And I've had people say it's going to cost $1,500 to get material to fix that. I send a check.
All right, well, let's get back on track. I think this is an important subject, and if there's some things that we can do to support Roger by implementing more stringent rules on hauling to prevent this kind of damage, I think that would be something good, but I don't think that's anything Roger needs to be spending his time on. Anything else that you want to tell us about roads? You want to move into any equipment? Do we have any equipment bids there? Let's see what we got. You expecting anything specific this time?
Bid for a haul trailer and bid for a haul truck.
I've got Centerline Supply.
I'm not sure if that's bid.
Okay. Sure.
We're expecting 2 bids for haul trailers
Okay, here's Holt Truck.
and maybe 2
Centers.
bids for haul trucks.
This looks like some literature trying to drum up business. Centerline Highway Products and Equipment Signs and Custom Graphics. So Mr. Ledbetter, see our enclosed catalog of products. We are a member of the Buy Board. I got one of these. I gave this to James. Are you aware of this company, Centerline?
Yeah, I've got some of the same there, right?
So there's no bid there. That's just some promotional material. They are a Buy Board member, which means you can buy from them without a bid. All right, I don't know. This is from Holt Truck Centers. So let me see where we are here. Moving on to item number 5, this is regarding a used equipment trailer. So here from Holt Cat. This is a 2005 Peterbilt 5th-wheel tractor. So
That's the next item.
that's the next
Let's
item.
see.
I'm going to set that aside. This is a 2009 Peterbilt 5th-wheel tractor. Set that aside. Here is a 2-axle, 35-ton RGN lowboy trailer, 515-16. So that must be their coding. So this is a trailer, $28,735. It's a 2008 Load King, 24-foot deck, 10-foot rear deck, 102-inch width. Beautiful picture. Is that kind of what you're looking for here in item number 5?
Yes, sir.
How does that price and description match with what you're looking at?
That price looks pretty good from what we can tell. You
Okay.
should have another bid in there for Blackwell.
Okay, I'm gonna set this one aside. Let's see if this is from Blackwell. This is another one from Holt Cat, San Antonio. This is a truck and trailer. So is that a different company? This one's from San Antonio.
It may be the same.
Another one's from San Antonio. So here's a trailer bid. I'll set the truck bid aside. Here's our trailer. It's the same thing, so it's just a duplicate of what we just read, $28,735. And looks like the same 2008 Load King, same picture, same everything. So I guess we just got a duplicate there. So do you want to take a look at this? Do you want us to give you the approval to buy it if it meets your specs? What would
Did
you
you
like
get
to do?
anything else?
There's nothing else.
That's it? We didn't
That's
get
it.
anything from Blackwell?
I had 3 envelopes. One was that marketing material and 2 were from Holt Cat.
I think that Load King trailer at 2008 is a good buy.
Okay.
Philip actually went out and looked at it. It was out in Irving. He looked at it, he looked at the 2 trucks that were out there in Irving.
So if we gave you the approval to purchase this after you have had a chance to review these specs and anything else, how about that?
Well, actually, we're pretty confident we know all about that trailer already.
Okay.
We've already seen it.
Okay.
So
And that was the price, good price?
Good price.
All right. All right.
A new one is, what, 90,000?
75,000.
Okay, so item number 5, this appears to be the same unit that Philip has looked at. Roger says this is a good price on this 2008 lowboy made by Load King. You would like to give him permission to make this purchase.
I'll make a motion, we give it.
Motion is made by Commissioner Riddle to approve the purchase of this one trailer.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Fields. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Said aye?
Yeah.
All right, unanimous. I'm going to combine both of these, this duplication here back in the overnight envelope.
Let me say this, why, on this lowboy that we bought now and stuff. Beforehand, if we needed to move a piece of equipment from point A to point B, or from C to B or whatever, we call Cameron, it costs us $300 to pick it up, take it to the destination. Sir?
$300 one way.
One way. But you don't, they say, well, that's not a whole lot. But first thing you know, you got all 4 precincts going. First thing you know, you just spent $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 in a year.
It'd be pretty easy.
You add that up, it doesn't take long, 4 or 5 years, you'll have that trailer paid for.
Because we just spent basically $600. We took the bow mag out and we took the roller rack.
And this way, you can haul any piece of equipment.
Yes.
That low boy, walk it out there and pick it up, take it, and it's a whole lot, we can do it in-house a whole lot cheaper than we can out.
Okay, I'm going to move on into item number 6. This is a used haul truck. Let's see what we've got here. These are, look like duplicates from Holt. This is a 2009 Peterbilt fifth wheel tractor. We've got this one priced at $35,935. Let's see if I can tell you any other specs on this one. You familiar? Have you seen this one? That picture look like anything you've looked at or that you're aware of?
Yes, sir.
If you want to start looking at this while I read some more specs on this one. This is some additional coverage here, navigator coverage, engine transmission drive axle coverage, and optional coverage, option B for aftermarket assemblies. 24 months, 240,000 miles. That looks like an add-on of $4,971 to go along with that. And this second package is a different one. This is a 2005 Peterbilt fifth wheel tractor, and the price on it also $35,935. Looking for the miles on this thing. .430 horse Cat C13 10-speed transmission, 50% tires and brakes, 2-line hydraulic wet kit to operate a lowboy trailer. It's got 384,000 miles on it. And that's what it looks like.
What did the first one, what was mileage on the?
I missed that. Can you tell me?
What was mileage on
that mileage
that one
on
you
there,
get?
Philip? When I found the mileage, it was on the second page there, up in that big yellow block under additional vehicle and accessories description.
What was that first Peterbilt, the 2009?
2009.
The first one is 2009, and it has 382,000 miles.
382.
This one's got 384, and it's an 05, and it's the same price. And it's also got an add-on engine transmission drive axle coverage for $3,731, but it does not include that aftermarket assemblies.
What about the engine in that one? I'm sure they're going to be Cat.
Yeah, both of them are Cat. Yeah, both of them are Cats. Just because it is from Cat doesn't mean it has a Cat motor in it, but these both do.
Which engine does that one have?
This says it has a C13, but I think that information is incorrect, because I think it has a C12. It's a little bit lighter engine. Just from the information that he sent me originally on it, before I even went and looked at it, I don't know why it's just, this information here says it's C13 with 430 horse, but I'm pretty sure that's inaccurate. But what I sent me earlier.
Here's that second one there, and then I've got a third envelope. It's still from Cat. Let's see if it's a different item.
That's all feature first.
Oh, okay.
And that's the second one.
Here's the,
No, this is the
Yeah, they go.
that was sent together and this sent together.
Is one of those the 2005? I think this is just another duplication. This is a 05 Peterbilt at 35,935, 384,000 miles. Sounds like the same one. So we've got a total of 2 truck bids here then, between everything.
And that's what it should be. And this says, this 2009, this is still the C13, which I know that's in there. From the information he sent me originally. It looks like he marked out the 2005 and the 2009, but you did not change the specs on it.
I think that's the same truck.
Yeah, the specs on it were the same. Yes, that is correct.
But it's a different truck.
Oh.
Different truck, yes.
So we do have a total of 2 trucks here, an 05 and an 09.
That is correct, yes, sir.
Does that look like the kind of truck that you're envisioning?
Yeah, they both have the
Your
setback
caravan's
axle.
more nimble
and
than all
are
of
set
that.
up for what we really need, for sure.
Okay.
And
Are you
both
familiar?
of these 2 haul our trailer. The 2009, I know it's a little bit newer model, less mileage, which
This doesn't indicate that, but I know it had less mileage, but it has the recycled exhaust on it, and which would be a newer model, trying to get more EPA efficient and stuff like that. You should shy away from that, just because of the problems they're having with all the EPA stuff, trying to get those diesel engines to perform like they want to.
Are you talking about now the 09 or the 05?
The 09.
So
So a
the
newer year
09 is a little newer, and it would appear that at the same price would be the better one to go with, but you're saying no, the 05
That's correct.
is the better.
That is very correct. And that's the reason why it's cheaper, because they're going to have trouble selling it for anything more than what it's worth. And that's kind of the problem too. We talked to 3 or 4 different people, WW Diesel, the guy down at Lone Star, and they are having no trouble out of those cat motors. I asked about the price of parts compared to, other diesel motors, and they're telling us it's probably comparable, nothing. He has no trouble looking at them. If we want to spend an extra $250 for him to go through it, he'd be glad to go through it for us, just to, just give us assurance.
And who is he?
The guy in Lone Star. He's the mechanic down there that works on
He's got a truck repair business.
trucks and repairs on place in Lone Star.
What does he think about these cats?
He's good with them. The guy that was in court with us, I ran it by him also, and he says it sounds like we were really on the right track with what we were.
What was the motors he didn't like?
He didn't like the C10s that were in
Cummins C10,
and those water
we've-
trucks, and after finding out more about them, most of the C10s were bad engines.
Yeah, he's very accurate on that.
Well, is this a C10 engine?
No, this is a C13.
C13, okay.
Yeah, those are L10s, Cummins L10s.
Different manufacturer. They're,
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with that engine at all.
You like the price?
I think it's a good
No,
price.
this
The
is not
fact that we've
Cummins.
already got the setup for a lowboy.
I mean, no, that's the.
If you get one of those from Ryder or Penske or that's been hauling vans, you're gonna have to spend extra money that's already spent on these trucks. You can hook them up.
These are the trucks they pull their low boys around with.
Do you want to look over these, or do you want us to approve that 05?
I'm good with the 05. From everything we found
Was
out
that
about
the
it.
09? I thought it was 09.
One of them is the 09, which is the newer year model where it has the recycled exhaust, and
Same
they
price?
should, yeah, same price. And that's the reason why it's the same price, is because of that.
All the problems they have with the
Why are you
recycling.
saying 05 instead of 09?
The 05, they have less problems with the engines and
That one
the
doesn't
EP,
have
all
the
the emissions
recycled,
in the 05.
because it's an older model.
So it didn't have to meet all
More
the
small
stringent
equipment on it.
I got it.
emission requirements
That's correct.
in 05 as they did in 09. So there's more computerized controls on it, there's more recycling exhaust through the engine.
Yeah, I understand all that, but you ain't gonna find nobody to work on them anyhow. It's gonna be the same, and hopefully, well, the way I envision it, we're not gonna get enough miles for that to be a big factor. Anyhow, the emission, we're not gonna get inspected on the DOT out in
Right.
Little Rock.
But it's not the actual inspection that's the problem, is that
Yeah,
the equipment that
To work on
is
it.
on the machine is,
Yeah, but that's the problem with it.
Keeps that
Cat,
involved.
They're actually.
that's the only downfall.
Both of them.
Is on a
both
cat,
of
the
them,
expense
they actually come
of
from San
fixing.
Antonio.
But hell, they're all that way. I mean, look at Ford, we gotta take them to Piggy-Hers and gotta have a certain computer.
that's what the guy at Lone Star was telling us. It costs about the same work on all of them now, because you got so many computer components on them.
Right.
That all
I
of them
can-
are the same, and all the
The guy
prices are
in
about
Lone
the same.
Star, he wants you to bring it to him to go through.
I like the idea of,
For $250.
that Ford was terrible, that we gotta go to one spot. I call,
Should have found a problem.
they got a cat place in Texarkana, a cat place in Dallas.
I think there's a place over out of town.
Yeah, there is a cat dealer in
And
town.
the reason why is they're willing to.
I don't know where it is.
You got there, this ain't the only cat engine you got. We
No,
got those cat engines in the Caterpillar, we, on our motor graders, we got the cat engine in the
was reading that hold, when that second Peterbilt, he didn't say what brand the engine is. I said, I bet hold ain't gonna be selling no Cummins.
Both these trucks come with an optional warranty. The one on the 05 was $3,700, 24 month, I think.
Yeah, no, nine,
And that's engine and powertrain, that's all it covers. Which is the major expense if something breaks down with the engine and powertrain.
Well, I was asking Philip if he was comfortable just buying it, or if he'd want to drive it from Irving to Lone Star and let that guy look at it.
I wouldn't mind letting that guy look at it, I'm just not sure what we've got to do to make that happen.
Just buy it with the right to return it if your inspection man finds a significant problem that they can't remedy.
Hold will do that, I'll bet.
Oh,
Yeah, I think they do it.
Yeah, they do that.
I like the sound of that.
I do too. I do too.
Independent guy. You know, worst case, you can haul it over here, you have to haul it back. But at least get an unbiased opinion. Okay. All right, so you'd like a motion to buy the 05?
I'll make it.
Motion was made by Commissioner Riddle to purchase the 05 with the optional warranty at $3,700, pending,
inspection.
George, you want me to slow down? Motion is to approve purchase of the 2005, what brand is it? Peterbilt at $35,935, is that it?
$35,935.
$35,935 plus the optional 24-month warranty at $3,731. And we will have a professional truck repairman in Lone Star evaluate the vehicle with CAT's permission. All right, that's the motion. Second by Commissioner Fields. All in favor, say aye.
Could I say something? I don't think we should specify that guy. There might be somebody else that we want to use instead of the guy down at Lone Star to inspect it.
Scratch the professional repairman in Lone Star, just a professional truck repairman. Commissioner Riddle and then Commissioner Fields seconded. And we got a unanimous vote. Professional truck mechanic, I couldn't think of the word. A professional truck mechanic will evaluate it. After we purchase it with right to return. All right, and we still don't have a bid for a water truck for number 7, so I'll ask to table it again.
Yes. I don't know when we'll get a bid for a water truck. It may be this winter before we
Okay.
find any water truck.
All right, need a motion to table. Motion, Commissioner Fields. Second, Commissioner Parker. All in favor, say aye. All right, item number 8, any updates, Commissioner Riddle, on construction repair projects?
The A is the west wall of the annex. All that electricity and that stucco or whatever that's not the word they use nowadays. Jones is getting he's in touch with a guy, and he should. He said I thought I'd hear from him now, but I'm not. He said I'll call him back today. That was this morning. The water leak. He's recommending that we tear the whole steps down, or get somebody to tear the whole steps down. He said that I don't know whether that's the right way to go or not. I'd like to get some more opinions there.
That's the concrete steps on the north
entrance. On the thing, because the leaking is up against the building, water's running back. It's got some kind of a hole in there, so the porch, I guess you'd call it, between the building and the step. And we may need to do what Mr. Jones says or something, but I really think we need to stop the leak and then go from there. I'm not sure how the best way to do it is, but he seems to be kind of at a, I don't know. He may know he may have something in his mind, but in my mind, we need to, I don't know what to do. That's going to be quite expensive. You have to tear down that whole thing. I can't. There should be a way around from tearing it down, but I don't know that.
What about, I don't even know what kind of person has the skills to evaluate that. What about somebody like an engineer or Glenn Calvert or something like that? What?
You know.
Okay, what he told me, what needs to be done, whether he does it or somebody else, and need to drill in that, see what you got. You go underneath it, the bars are rusted, and concrete's fell out and stuff, and he said, if that's like that all the way through there, you need to replace the whole thing. It might be where it's not like that. You're gonna have to hire, if you do that, you're gonna have to hire somebody just to kind of core it, know what they're doing. Is this good material, is this bad material? We fixed it, I know twice it's been fixed.
Up the top.
Last year and then back in the early 90s, we fixed it, and we're having the same problem. It's getting worse.
That water leak, yeah, you can tell somebody's put a coat of, somebody that, you remember that woman that got that thing and
Looked over there at our
yeah, and I talked to her, I'm telling you, I was impressed. She knew what she was talking about. She said, why'd you do that? She knew. I never met her. I just talked to her on the phone a couple times. I was impressed.
And
I
I think they will come down here and look at it and give a recommendation on what to do.
That'd be great.
They're that repaired the annex.
Yeah, out in the parking lot.
That filled up the voids with concrete.
Yeah. Is there not an expansion joint in there between the building and that porch?
I don't even understand the problem.
If there's an expansion joint there, then it can be replaced and sealed, and that may be all that has to be done.
That's what Richard was talking about. It needs to be cored or drilled, see what we got. It may be where you don't have to replace the whole thing. It may say, hey, this thing is going to fall. We need to replace the whole thing.
How about I get the name and the number of that woman and get it to you?
Oh, okay. There might be some other people that like an expert, and Richard that may be. I would really. I hate to just see. You can tell him like he said. I didn't know when, but somebody's put this seal on it like a stucco or like you do what's that cool deck on a swimming pool. You know what I mean? They've put that on, and it's coming apart. So water's running down between the building and where that sealant stuff was. Just to seal it again, it'd be
Where is this at?
The north steps out here.
Come up the steps, and then that stays there.
I don't know if Alan Parr has got the capabilities of checking that or not. I mean, he's a concrete man, and I don't know if he's got the capabilities of doing that or not, but you might check with him.
I'd like to see the problem and understand it. Maybe today, I don't even know what it is. I need to take the time to go look at it. Maybe I'll have an idea.
You need to look at what we got there.
Is it just the steps or is it?
no, not at all.
No.
It's not
It looks like, from what I've seen of it, it looks like it's running at the expansion joint between the porch and the door, or the building itself. That expansion joint in there, that looks to me like where it's getting in at. But
and somebody just sealed it to stop it from getting in, like you would putty around the window.
Worth a try.
Well, we did it twice, and and down underneath, you can see where the steel bars or the foundation is rusted out, so water's running on it. It's been running on it a long time. I think they need to be checked and see if they're still strong, or I don't know what it may look like up above there. That's going to have to, but chipped off, but I don't.
Good chance your concrete deteriorated to the point you want to replace it.
Do what?
Good chance your concrete is deteriorated to the point you want to replace it.
Could be. But maybe drilling a hole, we get Richard on it to see what he...
That's what I think we need. We need to see what we got here. Do we need to replace the whole thing, or is it sound enough that we can replace part of it? Gonna have to do some core to find that out.
All right, well, let's move along. I'd like to look at it too.
And then I want to say something about this west wall over here. Mr. Allen, what they did, they put in meters and stuff over here with this, and it's, they tore that stucco away from the wall. We get a whole lot of rain over a period of time, that whole wall will start turning loose. It needs to be sealed and fixed. It needs to be done quickly.
Okay, but Mr. Jones has got somebody that's going to look at it.
Got somebody coming.
He said, yeah, he'd contract to contact him again today.
You could get David Edwards' opinion on it while he's working over there. You know, they're going to be doing some meter replacement on the outside over there.
Right. Okay.
It's replaced. All right, the north annex entry doors.
I recommend that we replace those doors, and we fixed them. They'll shut $179, something we paid the repairman. The closer will shut them now, but people's watched them. David has watched people, when you get a wheelchair, the way they got a door here and a door here and one in the middle, they've got to get out of their wheelchair. They can't get in there. And whether it's one of the glass guys said, well, you're probably ADP or whatever it is compliant because the building was built so far. But maybe I wouldn't have a way of knowing whether we're compliant or not with the disability. But for as far as convenience and the citizens, it's a bad situation for someone to go in that building with a wheelchair.
Just the exterior doors or the ones inside the vestibule?
No, the exterior. The inside is one door, double door that opens up good, but the exterior doors, it's one on this side and one on this side, and we need one in the middle that opens up double so they can go in.
Did Bo Taylor look at that with you?
They're going to give me a bid, and so is Brown, but they haven't yet,
okay.
And so this is it.
All right, good.
And then I think we ought to do it. I think we should fix it for the public. Forget the handicap regulations. I think we should fix it as a...
Well, either those glass guys will be able to tell you what ADA requirement is.
Oh, one of them said we're okay, the guy from Brown, and that may be. But I still think we should fix it.
Well, let's get a bid and one step at a time. All right, extension office roof leak.
I have a place, it's 2,800 and then 2,500, well, he said not under as Hefner. And he said his man was sick, he'd get back and tell me exact number.
Okay.
Jim Garza gave me an exact number, what he'd do it for, so I'd like to wait on Hefner.
Okay, wait on Hefner and compare the two bids. All right, flagpole, any ideas there?
I haven't done it. I'd like to get the contractor that put it in, and I haven't done anything about it. I don't have a clue. I thought Christie might have a idea. Before you? Who did it?
I thought it was Freeman. They were selling black boats at one time. I think they're the ones who sold it.
Steve Austin may know, that'd be the only person I know. May have to have I don't know who repairs that. I have no idea.
It's,
No
and
idea.
another thing is over at the tax office, that Judy Cook,
Yeah.
where she is, that this east door, the hinges are broke. They can't, as a matter of fact, it's kind of falling down, and Parker says that we need to put a different type of hinge on it to hold it up, and they have to come around to open it right now. We may have to do it.
This is the exterior glass door?
Right, the glass door.
On the far side or on
This side.
This side. Was that a new door when we remodeled?
No, I don't look like we even touched it.
Is that a job for the glass men?
Sir?
Is that a job for the glass companies?
Yes, and then the guys, I told him if he'd do it right away, the Parker guy put the one single hinge that'll hold it up for $400. I told him to,
Who is this? Parker?
Parker, $450 maybe, he said he,
Parker.
used to be Milam. Is it Parker Glass? Taylor.
Oh, Taylor, okay,
Okay.
okay.
Close, Jimmy.
Same guy that looked at your annex doors.
That did one.
Same guy that looked at the annex doors?
Yeah, he's going to give us a bid on that also, but he said that he'd fix it. And then the guy from Brown said he'd fix it, but he's replacing the hinges that are on there. I'd rather do the big hinge. That's a heavy
You want to
one.
wait and give both of those to the same company? Or
If the guy will come back from Taylor and I'd like for him to do it. If he don't, the other one though, it's got to be, it may have, I don't think they can use it. I think it's going to have to be fixed, one way or the other. If the other
why
guy.
don't we get it fit? That's an important door.
Well, I will. I'd rather use a Taylor.
You want us to approve that right now?
Yes, sir, I'd like to.
All right.
Up to $450.
Let's get an approval to spend up to $450 to fix Judy Cook's east entry door.
I'll make that motion.
Well, it's to include construction repair projects. These are just the ones that I know about.
I'll make that motion, Jim.
Motion's made by Jimmy to allow Al to get the door on Judy Cook's, or on the tax collection voter administration east entry door fixed up to $450.
You're talking about getting quotes.
No, he's already got the quote, and he's asking us to let him go ahead and get it fixed. So that's an important entry door that sounds like it's non-functional right now. Is it not closing? Is it not?
Can't lock it. They're having to walk around to the front of it to lock it, then David was lifting it, had to lift it up for the lock to work. The hinges are just
Wore out.
And
All right.
I just soon not, where they are, the guy from Brown wants to replace them, but what's holding them is what's give way, whatever bolts, you might put bigger bolts, but I'd rather use the different kind of hinge
Okay.
at a little more, at a bigger cost, so. That's David's recommendation also. David's more than a custodian, I can tell you that. Has a lot of knowledge.
They want to wait another 10 minutes. Okay. All right, I've got a multifamily probate waiting, so I'm going to try to knock through these and rather than taking a break here. Let me give you an update on our.
We didn't vote on that, Judge.
Did we get a second on that? Second, Commissioner Fields, all in favor of getting the east door fixed, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, that's the only thing we've taken action on today. Update on the status of the loop bonds refinance. Good news here. I thought that with creeping up interest rates over the last few weeks that we were in trouble, and so did our bond underwriters, but they got a glimmer of hope last week and acted quickly upon this. We have completed the pricing of the refunding bonds. If you are ready to accept the terms of the underwriter, let's see. The pricing satisfied each parameter that was presented to the Commissioners Court on June 12th. The aggregate principal amount of the bonds, $19,630,000. The Commissioners Court was told that they would not exceed $22,500,000. The true interest cost of the refunding bonds, 2.52. We were hoping to beat 3%. The refunding produced a 7.61% present value savings, better than the 7% parameter that we had asked for. And the final maturity date of the bonds is March 1, 2029, which was the parameter. So we actually did better than expected. We'll have savings due to this refinancing of about $1.7 million, I think. Yeah, $1,760,496, and they originally told us they thought about $1.4 million. So not only did we get an open window there, we got a little bit better. So a very successful refinance or refunding, the refunding of these bonds with new bonds. And so the wrap-up of that project is going on this week and next week. But that is the outcome, and it's locked in, and we're very glad. Item 10, consider and possibly approve travel and seminars. Let me tell you what I've got out of Judy Cook's office. Judy would like to go to Advanced Assessment and Collections in Lufkin. She says it's mandatory. This will be in August. $140 per diem, $85 registration. Hotel, $273. Total cost of travel, $174. Grand total, $673 for Judy Cook going to her school in Lufkin. Same school, Leanne Oglesby, deputy clerk, taking her along, carpooling with Judy, and $498.75 for her. Steve Austin would like to go to his annual Texas Veterans Commission annual training in Galveston in September. This will cost about $1,000 between mileage, $527 for a hotel, and $180 worth of per diem. John Marks taking his entire office to legislative update in McKinney, a one-day event on the 17th of August. John, they will all carpool together. They need $20, up to $20 worth of meals. There will be no overnight stay, just some mileage going to John Mark, and the per diem and the cost of registration, $100 each. So those expenses, $140 for all four, and then John Mark will be a little bit more because he's taking his vehicle. So $140 each. Jessica Crawford, Paul Lindsay, Esther Robertson, and John Mark. Another one for John Mark, that's in August. In September, he would like to go to mandatory training, annual criminal and civil law update, $100 registration, $120 per diem, $525 hotel. Taking a personal vehicle for which he claims no mileage because he gets, he's already compensated with a travel allowance. And that is all of those. Motion for approval by Commissioner Fields.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Parker. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All right, oral and written reports.
Thank you, sir.
Motion's made by Commissioner Fields to approve. Second by Commissioner Riddle. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Treasurer's report, item number 12.
Make a motion, we approve the treasurer's report.
Motion's made for approval by Commissioner Parker. Second, Commissioner Fields. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Budget amendments?
Just 38 through 42, just line item changes. It's, I think everybody's seen it, it's just kind of clean up, get close to the end of the year so we can adjust the numbers around. We pulled,
No new money, just reallocation.
right, we pulled 37,000 out of contingency to cover some of these. There's still 1,000 in contingency.
Motion's made by Commissioner Fields to approve reallocations, adjustments 38, 39, 40, and 41. And 42.
I'll second that.
Seconds by Commissioner Parker. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Item 14 is sign pay orders and pay bills.
Make a motion, we pay our bills.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Fields. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item 15 is closing comments. Commissioner Parker.
I have none, Judge.
I don't think I have anything that we haven't discussed today.
Do we need to talk about the county park, just kind of let them know what the deal is?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. The county park. Luminant had 2 interested parties. They have awarded that to a hometown boy by the name of Trent Abbott. And Trent is going to be in the park business, and he's got some great ideas out there that he's convinced Luminant that he's the man, and the other individual was in the KOA business. He ran the local KOA, so they're working up the legal documentation there for what they expect out of Trent. Trent's got some great ideas out there for marketing the property, improving the property, and making it a real nice place to go. So he's got a profit motive there. I think he'll do a great job, and so does Luminant. So they will let us know as soon as we can back off and turn that over to them by the end of August.
Yes. I talked to Brad Lumen, and he said right now we're looking at being turned over August the 1st. September the 1st, I'm sorry. The end of August. August 31st will be, and I will let our part-time person know what the plans are, and that he's got roughly about 5 more weeks that he'll be out there. Also, I wanted to let y'all know that Patrick Jones is in the process, or fixing to cut that out there. That'll get all that cleaned up instead of us having to go out there and bush hog. He's been cutting it every year, and I'm going to let him know this will be the last time it'll be cut, unless he wants to get with them and work with them on cutting it. But they do cut it to clean it up. It looks nice. The great thing about it is there's a lot of deer out there, and people love just come watching the deer out there. One day over there, I bet you there was 15, 20 deer out there. It's just real pretty, and they got their babies and everything. It's just really nice. But anyway, the end of next month, Abbott will be taking it over, and I think he'll do a great job, got some great ideas.
Commissioner Riddle?
No, thank you.
All right, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make it motion.
Motion,
Second.
Commissioner Parker, Commissioner Fields, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you, everyone.